Today, February 17th, 2021, marks the 30th anniversary of Mean Street Diary, a 6-part WBBM TV series aimed at uncovering just some of the countless hardships that Chicago's homeless face. And as an Arctic blast settles over the city right now, we're reminded of just how pressing those issues remain today. And the coronavirus pandemic on top of the current unemployment crisis, and the situation becomes even more nefarious. In 1991, Channel 2 anchorman Walter Jacobson spent 48 hours in negative-degree Chicago weather disguised as a homeless man. At the end of it, Jacobson said he was, quote, miserable. It's something he says he still thinks about to this day. Now look back from inside the CBS Chicago vault. Here's Walter Jacobson's 1991 report, Mean Street Diary.
There are perhaps as many as 5,000 homeless people here in Chicago. Tonight we begin a series of exclusive reports on homelessness, perhaps unlike any you've seen before. A first-person account of what it's like to live and sleep on the street. At first glance, the man in the beard and coat is just another homeless, faceless person. But if you look closely, you might recognize this is a well-known man, a newsman known to millions. Walter Jacobson became homeless, walking the streets looking for food, a place to sleep, a way to survive. Tonight, Walter joins us with the first report from his Mean Streets Diary. He's live right now along Lower Wacker Drive. Walter?
Mike, Lower Wacker Drive is in every story ever told about the homeless because it's where they seem to be the easiest to find. I've been down here many times over the years interviewing the homeless under those warm air vents from the garages above and in their cardboard boxes. 2 weeks ago, I came down here looking for a little warm air and a cardboard box for myself and some understanding, if possible, of what it's really like to be homeless. With just $3 in my pocket, I spent 48 hours on the streets, beginning on one very cold afternoon.
This afternoon's weather cold and getting colder. 28 right now over here.
I've been out in the cold before, right? I've been out in the cold overnight. And I don't expect to have to walk the streets for 8 hours at night. I will find a place to be warm. I think the hardest part is going to be finding a way to relate honestly to the people who are homeless.
Those were my thoughts before I started the project. It wasn't too long before they changed.
Do you feel lonesome? Do you feel lonely? If so, come to Jesus. Jesus loves you.
You buy me a cup of coffee?
Yeah. Buy you? No, not right now. Not right now.
Some people are more generous.
Here, man.
Thank you. It does feel a little degrading to hold out my hand. And it's not easy for me to do. And I don't imagine it's easy for somebody who's really homeless to do it. And I am now really getting cold and hungry too.
When you're out on the street, there's no such thing as a simple meal. When you're homeless and looking for food, a meal can be dangerous.
Okay, thanks.
I need your gun,
Gun?
your pistol, knife, ice pick, whatever.
That's how I was greeted at the door. They checked everyone coming in, because on the street, you just never know. I was surprised at the concern in the Olive Branch about weapons. My next stop was at a fancy restaurant.
Hey, any coffee in there?
No,
No coffee?
no,
They couldn't afford a cup of coffee?
no, they won't let you in there like that.
Why?
They won't let you in there if you have a suit.
What the hell's the difference?
I don't know. To them, there is one, though.
Now, there's a way to keep warm.
And it's not just at fancy restaurants that the homeless are made to feel unwanted.
You'll have to move away from
Just for 1 minute to get warm?
During my 48 hours, I stopped in City Hall, which seemed to me like a good place to get in out of the cold, and maybe even find some help.
Waiting for somebody?
Yeah, a friend of mine walking through.
Who's your friend?
Well,
Sit at the other end on the county side.
Go on down there.
Meet him at that end. He's
but
gonna
I,
walk through.
but I told him I'd meet him at City Hall.
Go on down there, and I'm not going to argue with you. Go ahead.
With an attitude like that, it's no wonder the homeless go underground.
Why don't you go to the shelter?
Don't say nothing about me, no shelter. No shelter. No shelter. No shelter. No shelter. I don't want to go to no damn shelter. Don't ask me about no damn shelter.
All right. He could not explain why he won't go to a shelter. But in 48 hours, I came to understand at least my feelings about it.
See, you may think this is an act for the television camera, but I'm telling you, I am really miserable. Really, really miserable. I don't even know where do you go? Where do you go next? What do these guys do?
That's what you do most when you're homeless. You walk all day long sometimes and into the night because there's no place to go where you can stop because nobody will let you stay there. It's that nobody wants you around, except down here, it seems, on Lower Wacker Drive, where you can stop all you want because nobody's offended or even cares. I came back down here 2 or 3 times during my 48 hours just to connect to somebody, anybody, looking for a person to talk to, if only about where to go and what to do next. Where will I sleep? And how will I eat? That page out of our diary, Elizabeth, tomorrow.
You've been watching the 1991 exclusive CBS Chicago series Mean Street Diary. Walter Jacobson's day in the life report, undercover as a homeless person in Chicago. We'll have the rest right after the break.